What's up, everyone? My name is Malcolm Cherrison, and welcome to my channel. So obviously, just like the title of the video suggests, I will be talking about tonight's presidential debate. I promise I'm not going to talk your ear off. It's going to be a short, simple, and quick video. Now, with that being said, I did drop a poll earlier on my Instagram asking my followers who else is going to be watching tonight's debate, yes or no. And this is really a way for me to kind of see who's all engaged in this 2024 general election. So when I went back earlier to check out the results, when I was looking at it, so far I had 80% for yes and 20% for no. Now, I'm not going to lie to you, I was quite surprised by those results, especially with this whole narrative of, the couch is going to get the vote this year, essentially saying that people are not enthused with either or candidate that we have presented in this year's general election. But the more and more I thought about it, my small marginal Instagram post somewhat does reflect our national election votes. And I'm going to break it down in very simple terms. So I had 120 views on my story, my Instagram poll story. 40% only actually participated in the actual poll, which equates to about 48 people. So 120 people saw the post, didn't respond to it. 120 people saw the post, 48 actually participated. So here in America, we have about 350 million people. Again, only about 40% of people actually vote, which is about 140 million people. So with that being said, this whole narrative of the couch is going to get the vote this year, that's going to be the third person running the couch. Essentially, the couch will win the election based upon the numbers of how we vote here in our national and general elections. 60% of people don't vote. Only 40% of people actually participate in our elections. So the couch wins every single year. So the real challenge to people is, can we be involved? Number one. And number two, can our involvement actually transpire into votes? What will it take for you to actually get involved in the process? Now, people have their reasons for not voting. Can't knock them all. Our government doesn't do a good job at inspiring people to vote, right? A lot of people feel like their vote doesn't matter. I will challenge anybody who says that your vote actually does matter. But just take this small little tidbit, right? Sitting on the couch and not voting is the standard. Has been the standard, always will be the standard. Because that is the norm. What I would like to challenge anybody is to become a part of what's not the standard. Because essentially what the 40% is allowed to do is elect leaders, politicians, into these positions of power, which ultimately turn into legislations that they write up. That legislation becomes law, and that law is what affects your daily life. So if you have no say-so in this, what are you doing? What are you doing? You have relinquished your power. Your power is your vote. Why would you just give that away? For nothing. Right? So, let's talk about the debate tonight. You have President Biden, you have former President Donald Trump. They will face off in the first debate of the 2024 general election. Now, you may ask, is this a big election? Is this a big debate? I don't think it's any bigger than any other debates that's going to be coming up later on down the line. This is the first debate, so first impression does matter. I think all debates are going to matter. I think every event that happens from this point on moving forward is going to matter, especially the matchup is a deadlock tie right now. If we were going to vote today, it'd be a 50% chance either person can win. So, yeah, it's important. Let's see. Before this debate, there were some very unusual terms agreed upon. And I say unusual just because it's not traditional. It's not the normalcy, right? There's a couple things, 5 things that I really want to point out. Number one is there's no live audience. In my lifetime, I don't think I've ever heard of a debate on the general election, the national level, ever being held outside of like a college or university. But there is no live audience, which I'm super surprised about that. Number 2, microphones are muted unless the candidates are asked a direct question. Number 3, there's no pre-written notes. No pre-written notes. Now they will get a notepad in the pad as well as a bottle of water, but no props, nothing else can come with them on that stage. Number 4, the podium position will be determined by a coin flip. Now, President Joe Biden did win that coin flip, so he will decide where he takes his place on the podium. Number 5, campaign staffers cannot interact with their candidates. All 5 of those things are very unique because traditionally they have never applied. So that means there were a lot of negotiations prior to this that was happening in order to get to these terms. So what are some things that we should be watching for? I don't think there's going to be a lot of policy talk, a lot of agenda talk. There's going to be, a lot of entertaining moments. Like a lot of debates are very much entertaining, but there are going to be some legal issues that, of course, Trump is going to have to talk about. Biden is probably going to press him hard on that, especially with his 34 count felony count that he was indicted on. He will be sentenced for those 34 counts on July 11th. Age. Trump is going to press Joe Biden about age. Even though they're 3 years apart, Biden does have more situations where you saw his age. Like he looks like he is not all the way there or something's off about him. Now, they say medically he's perfectly fine. He can do his job. But he has had those moments where, those mishap moments. So Trump is definitely going to press him hard on that, I believe. Also, too, I feel like every election, the economy is always going to come up. Immigration is going to be huge, just like in every other election. International politics, you have Ukraine sending billions of dollars to them. Then you have Israel. Of course, we're supporting them, but it's getting to the point where we're having strong Palestinian protests here in America. We've seen on the college campus. So President Biden's going to have to talk about that too as well. Biden is also going to have to talk about his decreasing support amongst African Americans, Latinos, and younger voters. And also, Trump is losing ground amongst his older voters. So he's definitely going to have to talk about that too. So what happens next? After this after this debate is over, what happens next? What can we look forward to? So I got a couple dates that I do want to mention to you all. So Trump will likely announce his pick for vice president in the coming weeks. I say in about 2 to 3 weeks max. There will also be a vice presidential debate this summer. That day has not been finalized, but Vice President Harris agreed to one held on either July 23rd or August 13th. Now, on the legal front, like I was saying, Trump will appear for sentencing in his criminal trial on July 11th, just days before the Republican National Convention, which begins on July 15th in Milwaukee. And 1 month later, Democratic National Convention will kick off on August 19th in Chicago. The second debate is scheduled for September 10th. So all those dates, I will be dropping a video, just going over it, just talking through it really quick. Most importantly, what I'm going to start doing now is I really want to engage with the regular people. I want to get questions from you all. So if you enjoyed this video, if you got a little tidbit from it, comment, subscribe. I'm looking forward to hearing from you all. See you on the next video. Follow me on all social media platforms at MALC_C. That's Malc C. See y'all later.